So good morning and welcome back to Lisa's cottage. How was your sleep last night? Was it good? Mine was just a few hours of sleep and back up at 4:30. I think I finally crawled under the covers about 1:30 and then back up at 4:30. So Ken had picked up 3 batches of flowers for me yesterday. Red, white with some dipped colors on it, and green. So the tip would be, or what helps me to keep my fresh flowers lasting longer than they would if I didn't do it. What I do is I change the water out every morning. I start the fresh batch of water out with that little packet, and then I'll use that until the next morning, and then I just start replacing. Pour the water completely out, and I will actually rinse the flower stems. I'll rinse them off under the faucet, and then put some fresh water into the vase and put the flowers back in. Sometimes they will last me up to a week. I've had them to last over a week. I just change out the water every morning. I started off with that packet that comes with them when I first put them in, and then the next day I just use plain water. Or you could try, when you get your fresh flowers, always trim the bottoms off of them. And even in between changing them out, sometimes you might have to trim the bottoms of the flowers. And a lot of times you can take just one batch of flowers and you can make 2 to 3 arrangements out of it. You know, smaller arrangements, but they're still arrangements that you can just place throughout your house. So if you had not gotten the chance to check out the 2017 Christmas home tour, I'm just letting you know. Set aside some time because it's not a short video and there's no talking in it. I like to watch videos like that strictly with music. So mine is all with music. And this turned out real well with that red bead board that Ken had cut and painted for me. I think it turned out really, really pretty. It just makes those colors pop. And I made that plate up there. It's just, well, I didn't make the plate. It's just a plastic charger. It was red. And I just did several layers of different paint colors. So I did that a couple years ago maybe. Yeah, about 2 years ago. And this was some of the stuff that I've gotten from Lowe's. And the greenery is from Old Time Pottery Hall. And then this greenery up here with the red holly berries, with the red berries, that is from Lowe's also. And the ornament was from Lowe's from a couple years ago. And I've had that for several years. And if you'd seen the video, you can see where I had 1 or 100, which that's exaggerating, 100 nativity scenes. I love nativity scenes. And then we'd bought this several years ago in Michigan, like from a Home Good or one of those stores. And it was basically just the white wreath with the aqua ornaments, and I did a lot of the filling here, put the fillers in. So you can buy pieces and just, you can do your own layers and you can build it up to be what you want it to be. And there was that piece that I had gotten from Lowe's. It's battery operated. And then that was from Old Time Pottery. And then I have a creamed one like it in the bathroom there. That's my mother and father-in-law at their wedding. And I've mentioned it in a video before, but you might not have watched that one. But the tablecloth right there, I don't know if you can see it, that their cake is sitting on, I have that. She gave that to me. And then I have their silver platter for their silver anniversary. And that's Dad. And I call Mother, his mother, Mom. I call her Mom. when he was in the Air Force. And that's when he was in the Air Force. And that was from Lowe's. That was from Lowe's. That's battery operated. So it's got some blingity bling in there. And then the furry tree, I think that's what they called it, the fur tree there, was from Lowe's. I've had for many years. I got it from Cracker Barrel. At the same time, I had gotten my glittery Santa up there. And boy, does the glitter fall off of him. This time of year, I don't need highlights on my face. I don't need to highlight anything. I have glitter on my face the majority of the time this time of year. And then I don't know where I got this snowflake. Maybe Frankenmuth or a Christmas store in Gatlinburg, or possibly Lowe's. And then I have the two light blue, the ice blue snowflakes up there. They kind of blend in with the wall. And then you had seen where I'd gotten these votive candles. They are beautiful with a candle flickering in them. Very pretty. And I've gotten those from Old Town Pottery. I had several real candles going last night. So if you are interested in me doing like a shorter video, quickly going around, going over some of the items, telling you maybe where I'd gotten them and maybe how long I've had them or who had given them to me, I can do something like that. Like I said, I won't remember all of it, but what I do remember, I would be happy to share with you if that's something you would be interested in. So I just wanted to check in. I'm going to do those couple of things that I told you I need to get done. That way I can get them off my list and move on to the next thing, and hopefully be back soon. Must drink the 20 ounces of water before I can have my iced coffee, and I drank all of it yesterday. I had gotten all the washables that I wash in my dishpan in the laundry room washed up. I just like that to be completely moisture free before I put a new bag of walnuts in there. And what I do, I will take my walnuts, I'll open it and then pour them, put a plate down first on the surface here, then my colander, and then I will pour my walnuts into the colander and then take it outside with the plate under it to shake all the walnut dust, crumbs, whatever. So I went ahead and opened my bag of walnuts and poured them into my colander, and I just have a foam disposable plate under it, and it still didn't catch all the crumbs because I wasn't exactly being careful. But look at all the powder that gets in there. So I like to take it out and just shake it as if I were sifting flour. I'm sifting my walnuts. But yeah, there's quite a bit of dust that comes from it. That's not even half of it. That's just for me pouring it out. Then I will wash my walnut jar once I finish up my walnuts to put, so it will be nice and clean for my fresh walnut. And the reason I wanted to try to show you what I was talking about, I'm one of those people that visually learn. If I see it done, I will learn a lot quicker. That is, if it's interesting, I will learn how to do that much quicker, or whatever's being shown to me much quicker than I would be if someone told me how to do it. So I'm a very visual person. That leaves me asking the question of the day. Are you a hands-on learner, or are you a read directions or instructions learner? I'm a hands-on more than someone tell me how to do it or read. We have manuals that come with our gadgets or things to put together or how to work something. We both call it the destruction manual. And so he was talking to a friend the other day, and they were looking for or doing something that needed the instructions. And my husband said, are you talking about the destruction manual? And he's like, what? The what? He said, that's what me and Lisa call it. We call it the destruction, as in how to destruct whatever it is we're trying to put together. We could probably put it together by looking at it better than walnuts have been sifted. And whoo, baby, is it cold out there. I went outside with no shoes on and short sleeves. And as soon as I walked out the door, I was like, ooh, make sure that door's not locked so you don't lock yourself out. I'm thinking I am gonna go with a caramel vanilla cream for my iced coffee. I keep a little, I call this the coffee tea station trash bin or can or tin. And you know what it is or what it was? The year before. It was the year before's 2 little Christmas trees that I used in home decor. Had live trees in there. And so when those trees pooped out on me, I kept the tins. And this is for them to put their trash in. Their stir sticks, their napkins, their coffee pods, their paper, whatever. Used to sit right up here. However, now I would keep it over there where the coffee items or to make your coffee would be. So there's a tip. You can use your pails, tins like this that your plants were in, and upcycle them and use them for your little trash bin areas, or you can use it in your laundry room to put your lint in. When you clean your dryer screen out, you can just put your lint in there and just set it up on top of your washer or dryer or a shelf that you have in there, and you can label it trash bin or trash pail or lint bin, lint pail. So there's it. Upcycle your plant pots, which that one's metal. So I know a lot of them are plastic, but that one's metal. So when you're thinking, and I just keep the paper towel in there just to catch the drips that come from the coffee pods, or like creamer, those little creamer cups, individual serving sizes of creamers. I just keep a paper towel in there to help soak that up. Your bowl, B-O-W, is nothing but one big light because you can't see the block back there. I used to write bowels in place of bowls, and I forget, it might have been Ken when we first started dating, and I guess I had written it down something about bowls, and I wrote bowels. Embarrassing. He's like, don't forget your bowels. I'm like, do what? Don't forget your bowels. I'm like, what are you talking about? And you know, he let me know I wrote bowels instead of bowls. And honestly, he has done that within the last few months. I'm like, do you realize you wrote bowels instead of bowl? So, yeah. The things that we can do to embarrass ourselves. I think I've only embarrassed him one time in our 27 years of marriage. And we were at Lowe's, and it's when our youngest son was still living at home, and my husband Ken and our son Patrick were talking to one of the salesmen there over in the lawn department. And I was just kind of wandering through the store, and I walked past this lawnmower, And I looked on the back and I'm like, oh my goodness, when did they start putting compasses on the back of the lawnmowers? And so I was very curious. And this is someone that is not always duh to guy things, because I can join the guys just as well as I can join the gals and be part of the guys. I walked up to my husband and Patrick were talking to the salesman. I walked up and I asked the salesman, and I was just as serious as I could be. I mean, wasn't cracking a smile. I didn't think it was funny. I walked up and I was like, when did they start putting compass on the back of the lawnmowers? What, are the yards just getting so large now that their guys are getting on their mowers and they're forgetting how to get back home? So you have to put a compass on there? And he's like, what is she talking about? So I'm like, over here, over here. And just to see the look on my husband's face and my son, which was just like, oh, mama. And they all, I think about almost the same times, that's not a compass, that's a gas gauge. I'm like, oh, well, I just saw the E and I thought that meant east. I am serious, and yes, I'm telling that for everybody to hear, but I think that is the only time I've ever embarrassed my husband. You know, something that I did, you know, that wasn't quite intelligent, that I guess he expected more of me. Well, did I bust his bubble that day, and nor should he expect that much of me or that highly of me, that I can't make mistakes too. Yeah. So now it's a running joke between him and my son when we walk past anything that has a gas gauge on it. Oh, look, here's a compass. I'm like, yeah, really? Just close your mouth. Just really, seriously, zip it. So I'm like, really? Just, you know, let it go. Let it go. If it was something that you did and you embarrassed yourself, you wouldn't want me to remind you of it forever and ever. Amen. So I just came and got a candy cane because my throat's sore today. My throat's always sore. Is there an easier way to open candy canes? I can get so frustrated trying to open a candy cane. Sometimes I just snap it. I mean, snap the actual candy cane, not snap as in get so frustrated I snap. But I just break it in half and say, okay, forget it, and then I'll just eat it in little pieces. But is there an easy way to open candy canes? Do you have any tips on how to easily or better open the candy canes? Why do they wrap them so stinking tight? Got peppermint. Oh, the sweethearts. It tastes so yummy. And I think cherry. I love candy canes. And Santa's boots. Ew. That's kind of disgusting. Yeah, I have that. Or if you have a planting pot that the plant's no longer in it, or you've repotted and you still have the small one that you can turn into a small trash bin, trash pail, trash can, either for your lint in your laundry room or next to your coffee and tea station. Isn't that pretty? Looks like it's literally painted on, but I'm sure it was dipped. It's so pretty. And there is the Christmas tablescape with all the little crystals that are falling off. Those crystals were all over the place working with them. And Santa, ho ho ho, who would know? It's sunny here, still a little chilly. It's about 41 degrees is what our thermometer is saying. I haven't looked on my phone. So guys, I think this is where I'm gonna call it a wrap, so I can just get moving with things that I need to get done. And this is where I'm gonna say, until we meet again, you all take good care, and bye-bye.